What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Over the Octagon podcast, fresh off UFC Seattle between Henry Cejudo and Song Yadong. Was a pretty eventful fight night as far as the UFC is concerned. Normally these fight nights get a little boring. This one was not. We're going to get into it, talk about everything. If you're not already, hit the subscribe button over on YouTube. Hit the thumbs up, like the video if you're listening to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music. Don't forget to follow the channel, turn on automatic downloads. Never miss another episode. We also had some major announcements for future UFC pay-per-views. We'll get into all that right here. Peace. Enjoy.
This is Over the Octagon. Welcome to the shit show.
Welcome to the shit show. What's up, everybody? Welcome back Over the Octagon with your hosts, Evan and Joel.
Yes, sir.
Fresh off UFC Seattle, baby boy. What did you think? Give me your initial thoughts on just the card as a whole before we start dissecting.
It damn sure started good. I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
Started good and very much dropped the second it hit the fucking main card. I mean, the main card wasn't bad, but it definitely did not live up to the hype of what the prelims put on. Outside of
right.
Silva.
Jean Silva. I mean, Rob Font, Matsumoto. That was a crazy
a great
fight.
Sure.
Yeah. Explain to me how Rob Font, Matsumoto. All right, well, let me reword that, actually. Menefield and Julius Walker got fight of the night last night.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing when I saw that this morning. I was like, that just didn't make any sense.
I would have given that to Rob Font Matsumoto myself. But if I had between the two, even Hernandez, Brendan Allen, I think was better than the Alonzo
Probably
Menefield
because them
fight.
guys were just scrapping. But like to put Alonzo Manifield and fight of the night in the same sentence just feels criminal.
It does, yeah. I
It
totally
doesn't
agree.
even sound right. Like I'm used to him getting like goofily Johnny Walker TKO'd or pulling something out of his ass. I didn't expect to come out there and see him go against an undefeated guy. I guess because the guy took it on a couple weeks notice, 2 weeks notice. Mm-hmm. They went to war. I mean, they did go to war.
Yeah, they were both pretty much exhausted by the end.
They were exhausted after the first round.
Yeah, so, I mean, the UFC Seattle last night started 7 for 7 with finishes.
Almost identical significant strikes landed in the Rob Font fight and Matsumoto as the Alonzo Manifield Julius Walker. Like legitimately the exact same. 113 to 114, and then in the Rob Font Matsumoto fight, 113 to 113.
Really?
Yep. Identical total significant strikes landed in both fights. And almost the same fight, dude. Control time, Rob Font, 1 minute, 18 seconds. Control time, Matsumoto, 6 minutes, 15 seconds. Manifield, 45 seconds. Walker, 5 minutes, 31 seconds. Like it's almost like the guy who had less control time and the same significant strikes won both fights.
Yeah, more damage.
I guess.
Yeah. I mean, that's my thought anyway, more damage. But yeah, I mean, 7 for 7. We saw Bukauskas get first round knockout to start it off. Then Ruziboev, second round.
Okay.
Second round knockout from Nursultan Ruziboev. who I'm a big fan of. He trains in Philly. Paige Van Zant's husband made his UFC debut last night from Bellator, and got a second-round TKO stoppage. I'm not even going to try to say his opponent's last name, but he looked pretty good. His grappling, his wrestling's pretty good. Now, did you see that fight live?
Briefly.
All right, so the stoppage, that was kind of like a questionable stoppage, and then, but not really, in my opinion.
Hand was trapped, right? So he couldn't get his hand out.
He just couldn't do anything. He was blocking the punches, but he couldn't move. So, like, you're blocking some punches and not others, but then you're just taking damage.
Sure.
And you can't, and he couldn't move. So, good stoppage, in my opinion. He didn't like it. He got up, pushed Austin Vanderford after the fight. Yeah, which I think is corny. Like, first of all, why are you pushing him? If you're upset with the stoppage, if anything, you have an issue with the ref, not Austin Vanderford. You know what I mean? He did what he was supposed to do. Was
that one of two catchweight fights last night as well, due to all of the last minute changes? Because the Rob Font fight was catchweight too.
Rob Font was catchweight as well. Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty strange. I mean, Rob Font was supposed to fight, obviously,
Dominic Cruz, right?
Dominic Cruz, yeah, and Gene Matsumoto.
He retired him before he even got there.
Short notice, yeah. Gene Matsumoto, short notice. I mean, that kid, that was awesome. That was awesome. So good for him. He showed up.
I'm curious how the conversation went to sign Vanderford. I get it was probably a last minute sign, right? It was bringing him in last minute.
That's what it sounded like. Very short notice.
Both guys last minute?
I don't know the answer to that as far as his opponent goes, but
neither.
Yeah, I mean, he's 13-2 overall. You know what I mean?
I feel like if we're just signing guys like Vanderford on like a 1 week, 2 week notice, then why can't they bring some other people from those other orgs that quickly over to the UFC?
Well, I mean, they brought
contract shit. I know
for sure, yeah. Right. Well, yeah, it's all contracts. So Pitbull's fighting Yair Rodriguez, obviously. Yeah. I think it just depends. I don't know that, they want everybody either. A lot of those people are at different stages in their career. Like, do they really want to sign like a 34, 35-year-old?
Sure.
You know what I mean? Probably not. Late 20s. You know what I mean? So you have years, you have some years with him on the roster, which
they were even odds essentially too.
Yeah.
Close.
Yeah. And I mean, he pretty well dominated
that fight. Yeah.
Yeah. Ricky Simon, performance of the night, gets a first round knockout.
Well deserved.
Over Basharat.
Plus 220 too. Fuck you, Basharat.
Yeah. I mean, dude, just a picture perfect knockout. Knocked him out cold. Good for Ricky Simon, dude. Yeah, 50K. Love to see it.
As he deserves.
Yeah. Abdul Malik, crazy favorite. Got a second round TKO over Nick Klein.
He almost got knocked out, though. Remember the spinning elbow that hit him in the face and almost knocked him out? And then he somehow recovered and won, which was wild.
Yeah, it was wild.
And then that's because the Klein guy once he hit the first spinning elbow, he was just like, well, fuck it. I'm going to throw 17 of them. And he just kept missing every other one after that.
Yeah.
Finally wore himself out.
Andre Feely, submission over Costa.
That was a weird one, dude.
Yeah, Costa submission over Feely, I should say. Guillotine.
I don't know how I feel about that, dude. I almost feel like Feely bitched out, dude. Like, how do you get caught in the guillotine when the guillotine's not even set up and the guy's in guard on his back, and he manages to get himself up high enough to get his arm around your neck and choke you out. You're a professional fighter. And this guy wasn't even set up for the guillotine. He didn't even go down with the guillotine. He set it up from his back. Like, how do you even let a guy do that?
Yeah, I think that's way more common than you're kind of leading on right now. That's maybe from the fence or the cage, but center of the octagon. Yeah, I mean, full guard. You break posture, full guard. They can't get back up. You're able to grab their neck. I mean, he couldn't go anywhere.
I feel like I see what you're saying, though. If they're like, how if they're in guard and they're laying on you, like almost like head to chest, where you can get your arm around him. He wasn't, though. He was postured up.
Well, it was after a scramble. It was after It was after a scramble. So he grabbed his neck and then got back into his guard to finish the guillotine.
It was very weird setup, but it fucking worked. And I just feel like Feely, it didn't even look like Feely was getting choked, though. Like, he just stood up right after, like nothing was going on. I feel like
I think he was pissed that he got
more than his guillotine was in, dude. I don't know.
I think he was pissed that he got caught. That's why I think he stood up the way that he did. He got caught in some shit. He was pissed he got caught in. But either way, good finish by Costa against Andre Feely, who, we're on a bit of a.
I mean, you're 500 in the UFC, or you're 500 professionally now, my boy.
Yeah, well, what do you mean 500 professionally? He's 24-12. That's not 500, dude.
12 losses, 24 wins.
Yeah, that's not 500 would be 12 and 12.
You're 12 and 12. You're right. You're right.
Dumb fuck.
Man, I'm
Andre Feely, Costa. Yeah, good win. And then your last prelim, Kutalaba submission over the Turkish Power, which I was so happy to see, because I don't really buy this Turkish Power hype. Like he literally, all he has is like power strike, like hard punches, but they're not technical. He blitzes in, he just throws really hard. If he catches you, it's over. But I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Uba Aslan, the Turkish fucking Power. So it was, first round submission.
Power.
Yeah, first round submission, dude.
I mean, it was cool.
Get fucked.
To win. Who cares, though?
All right, so we talked about the Menafield Julia Walker. Another performance of the night. Winner, Jean Silva.
Jean Silva. Oh, yeah. Well deserved. Guy's a savage, bro. Give this guy a top 15 fight right now.
So
give him whoever.
Okay, so he called out Bryce Mitchell. You have the rankings up, right? Where does Bryce Mitchell fall in the featherweight rankings?
Bryce Mitchell is number 13. It's perfect.
Yeah, it is perfect. Yeah. To which I don't know if you. Well, I think you did see, because you mentioned it last night. But for anybody listening, if you didn't see, Bryce Mitchell immediately responded on X, because Jean Silva's nickname is Lord. Bryce Mitchell said, "There is only one Lord."
Yeah. And you ain't him.
And you ain't him.
You need a country ass whooping.
That's it. That was the quote. Yeah. So sounds like Bryce Mitchell's down. I think Jean Silva kills Bryce Mitchell. Way too early prediction, but I think Jean Silva kills Bryce Mitchell, dude.
I don't think Silva beats everybody from 15 to 11.
Who's 11?
Giga Chikadze.
Okay, who's 10?
Leron Murphy. That's where shit gets difficult.
Yeah, Leron Murphy is legit, for sure. Undefeated. Yeah, very legit. Well, performance tonight, last night for Jean Silva. I mean, just, knocked the dude out, stood over him, was like, "Are you going to make me do it? Are you going to looked at the ref, "Are you going to stop this?" Or
he just bow right over and just
planted him, dude.
Those elbows to the ribs too. That was just gross.
Yeah, I almost feel like that was merciful, dude, really, because had he have continued the ground and pound to the head, Baghdasaryan is his opponent. Man, he would have taken some really hard damage to the head.
Needless to say, Jean Silva is a very big prospect in the featherweight division, and the guy is a savage, bro.
Yeah, 15-2. Coming off of wins from, Jourdain, Drew Dober, Weston Wilson. I mean, I think he's moved up to lightweight. I think he deserves that top 15. If Bryce Mitchell's game, give it to him.
Him and Josh Emmett would feed families.
Dude, true. Yeah, that's
That would be a fucking savage fight, right?
Yeah. Who do you think would win that fight?
I don't know, bro. Anybody could get caught at any moment and go down. That's a striking fest I don't want to see.
I think Jean Silva would win that. I think that would look similar. And I'm not claiming Jean Silva to be this good, but I think that fight would go similar to the Josh Emmett Topuria fight, to where Topuria beat him up, but there's like Josh Emmett is still Josh Emmett, right? So like the whole time you're like, oh, like he could, he fucking connects. It's over.
I don't know. We'll have to see. I need to see Jean Silva fight better competition.
Yeah,
first.
sure.
I know he fought Drew Dober, but and Drew Dober's another one that can catch you and fucking put your lights out too.
Yeah, yeah. And the doctor stopped that fight because of how bad the cut was on Drew Dober. So, all right, Rob Font, Matsumoto. This was a little bit, I guess, controversial. People did not like this decision going to Rob Font. I agreed with it, but what did you think?
We agreed with it. Hey, man, shout out to the New England Cartel, bro. They on top tonight.
Yeah. So what did you make Font. Of it? You had Rob Font.
I thought he looked great.
So why, like, obviously people thought it was a robbery, which I think we use way too loosely.
No, I thought his bigger, he had bigger moments in the fight than Matsumoto did. I just think that, they might have been striking the same, but Font, his moments were bigger, which gave him the fight, in my opinion.
Well, and so
there were times in the fight where we were like, oh shit, oh shit, and then when
their striking was the same statistically, but damage was not the same. Would you agree or disagree?
Damage was not. No, I think Matsumoto wore more damage.
So right. So when you say
caught him with that fucking front elbow right to the
So when you say striking was the same, I mean that's just by the numbers, like just statistically.
Just by the numbers,
Yeah, but that doesn't really tell the story. You know what I mean?
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said when you look at it, people would say, "Oh, they were striking the same," but Font's moments were bigger. Like his power or his strikes landed with more.
Sure.
And judges to be like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, and I would argue that like even the takedowns that Matsumoto got, he didn't do anything with.
No, he didn't. And Rob Font was able to get back up.
And would get back up. Yeah. So I don't know. I scored it for Rob Font. Obviously that turned out to be a little bit controversial last night. People were back and forth on that.
All I know is if I see scorecards like this where a guy got 7 takedowns and had the same had the same total strikes as the other guy and lost, I think we're good. We're in for a good fucking 2025, boys. Because they ain't gonna be playing this bullshit where you can just take people down and not do anything.
Right.
In fights.
Right. Yeah.
I hate back in the day where you could just be like, oh, I controlled him for 7 minutes and threw 70 less significant strikes.
Yeah. Or even like it goes back to the kind of Merab thing, right? Like the Merab O'Malley thing. Like he took O'Malley down, he dominated him, he held him down, but people criticized, the kind of amount of work he put in when they were on the ground. He's like punching his thighs and stuff. Like, means no damage,
Sure.
So I agree. It's good to see that. The judges aren't prioritizing that.
Takedowns versus a guy with 0 loses a fight,
Yeah. No, great win for Rob Font. Rob Font is looking good right now, dude.
It's not looking bad. He's still a little old in his career, though, I feel like.
Yeah, but
for a while.
Yeah, so he switched training camps. Yeah, so he switched training camps. He's not training with New England Cartel anymore. Tyson Chartier is still his manager, but he's not training there anymore. So he switched teams. And him switching teams, it seems like he has unlocked a new level. He looked really good in October against Kyler Phillips.
So where's he training at now?
I'm not sure. I forget what the name of the gym is. But
so he's not training with Cater anymore?
No. So he's not at the Cartel anymore. He's changed teams. But like I said, Chartier's still his manager. I think, obviously still connected there. I don't think not any
bad blood.
Yeah, no, nothing like that. But just needed a change, and it seems like it's working well for him because he looks his boxing is really good.
Sure.
His boxing's very good. But entertaining fight. Matsumoto, though, newcomer to the UFC. That was his third UFC fight, I think. So, and he took this on short notice. You know what I mean? Kid looks good. He's super young.
He beat Bracatona, who is the Ultimate Fighter winner.
Yeah, screw Bracatona, dude.
I mean,
I can't stand Bracatona.
He still won the Ultimate Fighter.
He stinks, dude.
Yeah.
Everybody, yeah, whatever, dude. That Ultimate Fighter sucked. Honestly.
Yeah, we still haven't seen them coaches fight
Yeah,
yet.
yeah. Michael Chandler's about to fight Paddy Pimblett. Conor McGregor is fucking behind you drinking whiskey, dude. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, brother.
That's the only thing he's doing.
Oh, man.
Anyway, all right. So Brendan Allen, Fluffy Hernandez. Second time. They fought once in LFA. Rematch last night in the UFC. Fluffy Hernandez, decision. Pretty much the same fight, too. Lots of grappling. Fluffy Hernandez got the better of it. But high level, dude. It was like if you made one error, you lost position.
Yep. There was a lot of reversals. There was a lot of takedowns. There was a lot of everything just going on. Submissions. Like tries. I'm shocked to see that it's only counted one submission attempt.
I noticed that last night. As we were doing our fight companion and we had the live stats up. They gave it to Brendan Allen, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I thought that was weird. I agree. I thought that was weird. Only one. Because I feel like I remember a few. Yeah, but I guess I don't know. I don't know. I guess I don't know.
Not good for Brendan Allen.
No. What's the rankings like now in middleweight? Brendan Allen was where?
Brendan Allen was number 12. No.
And
Brendan Allen was number 9. I'm sorry.
And Hernandez was 12?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, he's going to take his spot, I'd imagine.
Give him Bo Nickel.
Who?
Brendan Allen.
Yeah, that'd be a tough fight for Bo Nickel, I think.
Sure would.
I really think that's a tough fight for Bo Nickel, especially because as much as he got taken down last night, his jiu-jitsu obviously is very good, but he was winning on the feet. If he could have stayed on the feet last night, he'd have probably been way better off. Because his striking looked a lot better than Anthony Hernandez, and I mean, striking we saw last time out of Bo Nickel, then it probably looks better than Bo Nickel's.
Yeah, actually, I don't know. That may not make sense because Hernandez is going to jump to 9. I'd expect Brandon Allen to drop a spot or 2.
Yeah.
But there's Paulo Costa and Roman Dolidze there.
Okay.
So,
I mean,
if there was anybody in that 15 to 10 range that I'd want Bo Nickel to fight next, I feel like his best fight is probably Roman Dolidze or Roman Kopylov, because I feel like Michael Pereira is going to be a tough fight. Brendan Allen is going to be a really tough fight, and Paulo Costa is going to be a really tough fight.
Kopilov's a very good striker, but obviously we saw Fluffy Hernandez choke him out. He's not good on the ground at all.
Could definitely do the same thing to him. And then Roman Dolidze, I just feel like is not a number 10 fighter in the world. I think he can get beat by Bo Nickel.
Yeah, Dolidze is very good wrestling as well.
Yeah.
It's interesting. We were just like last week or 2 weeks ago talking about how bad middleweight is. And when you look at middleweight as far as championship contenders, it's bad. But when you look at it for like upcoming contenders, a guy like Bo Nickel, and then you look at that like 5 to 10, 5 to 12 range, like those are all dangerous ass fights.
Dude, but the middleweight division almost looks like it did 4 years ago. Like it's like half of them is like the same fighters as it was 4 years ago.
Sure. Yeah, not much not much new blood.
There's some new blood in there, but it ain't Jared Canney or Robert Whitaker, Izzy, Strickland, Paulo Costa, like Vettori, like fucking Marvin Vettori's still 8.
Right. Well, he never fights. I know he's got a fight coming up, but still. But then even like, but I mean, you got to think like it's not for a lack of.
Roman Dolidze?
I have no clue. I don't know who he's fighting. I know that he has a fight though. But I mean, you got to think about it though.
He's fighting Delize. That's who he's fighting.
Every prospect that's come up in middleweight has been turned back around, right? Yeah. Ikram Alaskarov got turned back by Robert Whitaker. I mean, Sean Strickland turned a couple of them around on short notice fights at the Apex. I mean, it's not for lack of contenders. It's just like, I mean, these older guys that have been around forever are gatekeeping hard. They're turning them back. Kopylov, same thing. Yeah. Kopylov, you thought like he was going to be something. Then he gets choked out by Fluffy. Brendan Allen, we thought was going to be something. He was ranked pretty high there for a little bit. Then he, has a weird win over Chris Curtis, where a lot of people thought Chris Curtis should have won. Then he loses to Imavov. You know what I mean? Then you have Imavov. Like, he's maybe the only one that's kind of beaten those guys. He's beaten Cannonier. He's beaten Brendan Allen. He just beat Izzy. He's beaten Roman Delice, but he lost to Sean Strickland. So it's kind of like, it's kind of crazy.
I'm thinking of someone off the top of my head, and I cannot remember the name of this guy, dude. He was like expected to lose and went out there and dominated like a new guy who just came in.
I don't know.
That's. I'm gonna have to. I know. It's a very broad.
Yeah. That's. But anyway, that was your co-main event at middleweight. Good win for Anthony Hernandez. So we expect him to move to 9, I guess, right, and take Brendan Allen's position.
Yeah.
And he's coming off. That's 4 wins in a row for him. 5, 6, 7. 7 wins in a row for Fluffy Hernandez. He lost in 2020 to Kevin Holland, which is crazy.
Yeah, I figured it out. I'm wondering. I thought he was ranked, dude. What happened to Jack Hermanson?
Yeah, I mean, Jack Hermanson's old man.
Didn't he just beat Joe Pyfer though? Like,
I mean, that was like 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago.
That time when that happened,
he was 11th.
It's just not for lack of not fighting.
I guess. I'm not sure. Yeah, he hasn't really fought, right?
Yeah, he's not even ranked at all. Like, I swore he was ranked. That was in 2024. That was just last year.
Yeah, beginning of last year.
Yeah, a year ago. But I swore he was ranked when that fight happened.
He was 11th when that happened.
So if he was 11th when that fight happened and he hasn't fought yet in a year, but hasn't lost either, he's just out of the rankings, I guess.
Yeah, there's been a lot of movement. Shit. I guess he just got pushed back. But I mean,
But Marvin Vettori's there. Make it make fucking sense.
Yeah. Well, Marvin Vettori was all the way at the top. That's the difference.
I guess.
Marvin Vettori fought for a belt. Marvin Vettori was top 5. Hermanson's not top 5. Wasn't top 5 when he fought Piper. He was like 11 or something. I mean, Hermanson beat Piper but lost to Delice, beat Chris Curtis but lost to Sean Strickland, beat Shabazian but lost to Vettori, beat Gaslam but lost to Cannonier.
He looked good against Joe Pyfer, dude. I thought I wish I could have saw him fight somebody like another little prospect again.
He's an old man, dude. He's an old man. He's
so is Jared Cannonier. He just he's number 7.
Yeah, that's a little different though. Cannonier's a different beast, it looks like.
So
anyway, all right, main event. Henry Cejudo, Song Yadong. Obviously, very weird ending. I don't know if you'd call it a controversial ending. Pretty much, I guess. What are your thoughts on the ending of...
I don't even know if I have thoughts. That was the weirdest stoppage I've ever seen. Ever. I've never seen it. I mean, I don't know if Herzog already knew what to do. I've never seen that happen before. Hey, we got to start the 4th round and then call it. Well,
so I don't think he really had. So because 3 rounds finished, more than half the fight's over. 3 rounds finished. It went to the scorecards. So had they stopped it when he stopped the fight for the eye poke, it would have been a no contest.
Yeah, but so if it's say they there couldn't be like a technical win. for injury.
I guess because it was accidental, they wouldn't have disqualified Song and given Cejudo the win. So it would have been a no contest. Nobody would have won, and it would have been a no contest. Ended in the third round due to accidental eye poke.
Yeah, it was just very weird, man. I mean, the decision was fair. I mean, it's fine. I'm not mad that Yadong won, but
no,
it was very weird because I do feel like there should have been a point taken after 2 eye pokes, especially the second one. Like that was kind of crazy.
Well, it wasn't 2 eye pokes. It was a low blow. It was right? He kicked him in the groin and an eye poke. Yeah,
2 penalties. But the second one though, it was bad.
It was bad.
Oh no, 1, dude. That was 2.
It was bad. Yeah.
I don't know if Henry. Did you see the picture today?
I did. So I wanted to bring that up. I didn't know if you had saw it or not. So I'll pull it up just so we can read what he said about it as well.
Like I'm not one to talk. I am one to talk shit about someone for being a bitch, but like I get it. If the dude really was, if it was that bad, then I mean I wouldn't want to go out there and fight with one eye either.
So diplopia, whatever that is, soft tissue damage, corneal abrasion.
Yeah. So
he posted a picture of his eye. It looks fucked up.
Yeah.
It definitely looks fucked up. And even in his corner last night, in between that 3rd and 4th round, his corner was wiping his eye, and they told him, like, your eye is bleeding.
Yeah.
There's blood coming from your eye. So I don't know. It's weird too because like I don't know. I
don't think Cejudo did himself justice by making it seem like he was okay and then just not fighting.
Yeah, so and it's weird too because like, a lot of the times like guys are like, "Oh, blinking." Like he really wasn't. Like he even looked up at the screen one time like super wide-eyed. You're like, "Oh, he's fine."
He's still on the clock, yeah. Dana said, "Fuck it, dude. He's not. There's no way in hell am I interested in letting them fight again."
Yeah. So Song Yadong gets the decision after 3 of 5 rounds. I think it was a good decision. I think Song won. I think Song was winning. I don't think it would have changed. Song was winning the strikes, in my opinion. Cejudo couldn't get a takedown. Right? He was 0 for 3 on takedowns.
Yep.
He didn't really try too hard for the takedowns, but he just couldn't get close. Song's striking kind of kept him at a distance. He couldn't get in there, get taken down. It doesn't look good. I'll be honest. I'm not going to like say that he quit, but it looked like he quit.
It did. I agree.
You know what I mean? I don't ever want to, because I don't know. I'm not in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't see what he see. Like, but it didn't look good, dude. It didn't look good at all.
That's the end of the road for Yadong, though. He loses to every person in the top 5.
Yeah, so who's ahead of him there?
Figgy, Sandhagen, Umar, Piotr Jan, Sean O'Malley.
Yeah, he looked a lot better, but yeah, I mean, Cejudo's 38 years old. I mean, Cejudo has all the accolades in the world. Yeah. But at the same time, if he was getting pieced up by Song Yadong, it's over for Cejudo. I mean,
for sure.
I can't imagine he hangs around and, continues to fight nobodies or up-and-comers, and I don't see it, and there's no way for him to work himself back to a title. And I'm not sure that the UFC really likes Henry Cejudo.
No.
I don't think they like him, dude. I mean, he's a double champ. He had a great career, but it was like, I know that they didn't like, he had like retired once before and then he came back. Then he retired again. They like didn't like that. But he's like not really retired. I just don't think they really like Henry Cejudo. It doesn't seem that he gets like the same red carpet rolled out for him that any other UFC veteran would get that was a double champion that has all these accolades that he does.
Yep. Nope. And yeah, that's it. I mean, ever since he lost to Aljo with the strap, that was like 3 years ago. He just went downhill from there. That was when he retired, right? The second time?
I guess. Yeah, I guess. But that's the thing. It's weird, right? Like he retired then, but he like really didn't retire. He was like upset after that they like didn't give him a moment in the Octagon.
Yeah.
But like at the same, and Dana was like, he retired once already. He doesn't get another
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't think they like him, dude. I just, you know what I mean? I don't think they particularly care for Henry Cejudo, and I don't think they're really gonna. I mean, this fight shows it to me. Like, you have Henry Cejudo, and you know, like you had Dominic Cruz on this card against Rob Font. Obviously, you know that I just think like if you were gonna give Cejudo a big fight, you could have given him that fight.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you're giving him a 20-something-year-old Song Yadong just shows that, you know, they're using his name to be the main event of UFC Seattle, but I don't really think they care or wanted him to win.
Nope. But now I'm interested in seeing Rob Font versus Cheeto.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, Rob Font looked great.
That's the only person in front of him.
Yeah. That looked great, man. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I don't think, you know, we haven't seen Cheeto in a minute.
Cheeto's
so
kind of on his downhill spiral too.
Yeah, who did he lose to? He lost to O'Malley, and has he fought since? Who did he lose to?
Yeah, he lost to Figgy.
Right. Yeah. Well, Figgy looks fucking good at 135 too.
Yeah.
Figgy looking dangerous. I know he lost to Peter Yan, but I mean you're talking the elite of the elite.
This
so
would be the second time they would fought. He beat Rob Font by decision, 5-round decision back in 2022.
Yeah, that's the thing. Cheeto's so tough, dude. So tough. Hard to finish. But yeah, man. So that was UFC Seattle last night. I mean, overall solid card though. Like a lot of good fights. Definitely some really weird moments. Definitely some weird moments. You know, the UFC is never one to be short of the dramatic. You know, things definitely got pretty dramatic, but solid overall. Lots of finishes, lots of knockouts. Jean Silva is a fucking savage. Give him Bryce Mitchell. I think he murders him. Cejudo is done. You know, Anthony Hernandez looks dangerous. Rob Font, for where he is in his career, good fucking for him, dude. Looking awesome. Yeah, I mean, dude, great. You know, absolutely great. Ruzaboev looked really good. Vanderford, like we said, solid debut, great finish. He'll be fighting at welterweight at 170. You know, so there's some dangerous guys outside of the top 15, some dangerous prospects he can mix it up with that I think, you know, can bring some entertaining fights for sure. Ricky Simon knockout. Yeah, just overall for a fight night live in Seattle. Yeah, I'd give it a 7.5. I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10, I think.
I think simply because of all the knockouts in the prelims, I'll agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, well, even the main card, dude, you're downplaying the main card too much, bro. Rob Font Matsumoto was a fucking scrap.
It was great, dude, but it started with Alonzo Manafeld.
And and then
the Cejudo the main event. When the main event is dog shit like that, like that's the purpose of the fight.
It wasn't a dog shit main event though. The way it ended was weird, but the fight itself wasn't bad. It was a great fight up until that.
No one will ever look back and go, man, I really want to go back and watch Song Yadong versus...
Well, yeah, because it ended with a fucking eye poke, dude. But, I mean, even the main card, like, you had Jean Silva knockout, Rob Font Matsumoto, Brendan Allen, Anthony Hernandez, super competitive. Song Yadong, Henry Cejudo, up until that point, was a good fight.
Yeah, but if
and he fucking quit.
if 5 of the 7 prelim fights were decisions, you would not be saying this right now. You would say that card was
if 5, yeah, yes. Of course. I'm talking about the whole card. Obviously, I'm just saying you're downplaying how good the main card was because Alonzo Menafield was on it. Like it makes no sense.
No, I'm saying it was not as good. It would have been way worse if the prelims didn't show out. Like no one would. This card would have been ass had the prelims not. And that's what I'm saying. I give it a set. I'll agree with you on the 7.5 because the prelims were so good. And then you said
I'm just saying the main card was decent as well. Like I'm not giving it a 7.5 solely for the prelims. Jean Silva knockout, Rob Font fight, Brendan Allen, Anthony Hernandez. Those 3 alone were all great fights. Remove the main event and the Alonzo Menafield fight, which was fight of the night. I didn't particularly care for it, but that was fight of the night somehow.
But I'm tired of UFC Seattle.
I get that they were scrapping, but it looked fucking pathetic. But yeah, that's it, dude. Whatever.